Let me ask you something and you be honest. Without cops, who would harass you, bully you, and violate you in front of your little kid? Oh, Brian, there are good cops out there. I'm sure of it. All you got to do is just find them and present them to me. This guy's name is John, and John goes on walks with this little autistic kid every single morning. But this morning, the Oklahoma police, and we'll have the name for you in the description and the pinned comment at the end of this video. The Oklahoma police thought, you know what? You think this is the land of the free, home of the brave. We're going to go North Korea style on you, buddy. Let's take a look at this.
Hey, how you doing today? Where you heading off to? Just walking. Any specific location? Oh, okay. Is this your son?
Yes.
All right. Hey, what's your name?
You can tell him your name.
All right, what's your name, sir?
Johnny.
The kid goes, no, what do you think of? Tell the road pirate my name? No, thanks, Dad. Smart kid.
Johnny. All right. All right, Johnny, where you coming from?
Now, stay tuned, guys. You may have seen this video already, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over what some people are saying on the internet, and I want to show you the mentality that allows what you're about to see happen. It allows tyranny to get a foothold, and it allows tyrants to believe that it's okay for them to do what they're about to do to John right here.
Just walking around.
Just walking around?
Yeah.
All right, enjoying this weather?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, we're checking up on you, man. You know?
Just walking around. What the heck is this deal?
Found it a little bit suspicious, you know. So, just walking around.
Walking around is a little bit suspicious?
Oh, my God.
I mean...
Actually, go ahead.
Technically, not really, but I mean, it is pretty early in the morning. Just wondering what was going on.
That's what we do. We get up early in the morning.
You got your ID on you?
What do I need an ID for?
Because I just asked you for it.
I don't need to show my ID.
Okay, if you don't give me your ID, I'm going to take you to jail for failure to identify, because I've identified that you've been...
Just watch the kid's face. Watch the concern just grow on his face.
walking around down here at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah, we do that.
No, you're not. Give me your ID.
I don't have my ID on me because it's at the house.
Okay, what's your name and date of birth?
Huh?
What's your name and date of birth?
I don't know, but you can't run. I don't have. This is a state where I don't have to show my ID.
Turn around.
You're gonna do this in front of my son?
Yeah, turn around.
Are you serious?
Yeah, turn
this
around.
This is my son. Let me bring my son home first.
No, turn around now.
Bro, you need to, here, let me videotape this real quick. I want this on video. What are you doing to my son? Bro, this is f***ed up. Son, it's okay, okay?
I mean, that is a violation. I don't care about the... Take the Constitution out of the way. Take the Bill of Rights out of the way. Take you have the right to be secure in your persons away. And let's just look at this on a human level. This guy literally did nothing wrong. And to add insult to injury, he's with his kid. He's with his little kid who happens to be autistic. I'm sure the cops didn't know that. But this is the little kid. This is a memory that this kid is going to have in his mind for the rest of his frickin' life. Way to foster trust and transparency, Mr. Cop.
No, I promise you're going to pay for this.
You think?
Yeah, I promise you that.
Truly infuriating.
We're walking around. There's nothing suspicious. I've done nothing criminal. I don't have my ID on me. I told you that.
And what did I tell you?
And then he pushes on his back in order to get himself up. And you'll see that this cop is extremely out of shape. I mean, he can't even capture his breath after minutes after this. You know what we do? We had reasonable suspicion. Pushing off on his back, grinding him into the ground so that he can get his big fat donut body off the ground.
Slam me on the ground because I was trying to record. What are you rolling me on the ground for?
It's gonna be okay.
Dude, this is ridiculous. Man, look what you're doing to my fucking son. There's my phone right there, too. Dude, I can't even believe you're doing this to my son because he was walking around on 4th of July.
It's gonna be okay.
There's some more irony for you. Look at this kid's face, man. Doesn't it tear you up? It's the 4th of July. It's the day that celebrates independence from tyranny. And here comes the tyrants executing tyranny on a guy who's just walking around with his little son. Just because he happens to not obey and comply with the authority, they can't stand that. No. And you'll hear it. This cop is going to say, well, you need to listen here. I'm a straightforward guy, but you're going to obey. When I say jump, you say how high.
Have a seat and I'll talk to you.
I'm not going to hurt you. All right? Don't worry about that.
I have no reassurance of that officer.
Hey, buddy, come here. You're okay. Listen to me. You're okay. Hey, quit crying.
Hey, quit crying. Oh, you're not going to obey me too? Do I have to body slam you too, little kid? Look at this guy. We don't know his name yet.
It's going to be okay.
People that don't want to identify typically are involved in criminal activity.
What the?
I've known this individual.
Guess who wouldn't want to identify? Let's see. Ben Franklin, Samuel Adams, Patrick Henry. Yeah, they wouldn't want to identify to the Redcoats. No, sir. Nathan Hale.
To be involved in theft in the city of Canton. There has been no criminal activity. Okay, listen.
What did you just say?
Individual to be involved in theft in the city of Canton. There has been no criminal activity. Okay, listen to me. Bro, we were just walking, and when you came up, you didn't hear what he said. Shut up and listen for a minute. No, shut up and listen. Okay. So I saw y'all walk down the alley behind the...
He's so out of breath he can't even talk.
I saw y'all when I was headed into the office. Walk across the street. Yes, sir. Then I got my unit ready. While getting my unit ready, man, I see y'all back in the alley you left from, okay? We've always walked from that alley around it. Okay. That's our house is around that. Is that why we do that? I promise. We do it every morning. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. So here's the thing. That's fine and dandy, man. But listen, we have people that are going down, up and down these...
Wait a minute. If it's fine and dandy, why is the dad in handcuffs in the back of the cop car?
These alleys spray painting and tearing shit up. Yes, sir. I understand that. Okay. It's the 4th of July, man.
Hey, do you watch a lot of Ninja Turtles?
No, I want my dad.
Yeah, he's right there. Don't worry about it.
But if he would have came up and said something like, hey, but he just goes, hey, I've been called for, what do you say, investigation of something. I'm like, what?
The kid is like, ain't no time for small talk. Give me my dad. I want my dad back. Shut the heck up, Mr. Badge Tyrant.
What? Yeah, okay, so here's the deal, though. Listen,
here's the deal.
When I got there, I didn't play games with you. I asked you what y'all were doing. You said, okay. I've worked here. Yeah, and that's fine, dude. I love it that you're out with your kid. But it is a little odd, okay? So when I ask you for your ID, you say, I don't have any ID. So what's your name and date of birth? That's all you have to give me. Give me your name and date of birth. What is your name and date of birth? I know, but this is because... No, this is your last opportunity. You're asking me right now? I thought you were saying... My name is John Sexton, 123086. Okay, set tight. 1230 of 86.
I didn't even have my radio on. That's crazy, man.
These cops are psycho. I didn't have my... You're mentally tormenting a kid right here, and you're just laughing. You don't care. Clear indications of a psychopath, which is interesting. I watched a PBD podcast yesterday with Sheriff Grady Judge, and he was talking about, or Grady Judd, and he was talking about the marks of a psychopath, and I was thinking, yeah, dude, you are one. And everybody under your command is a psychopath.
Okay, listen, man. As long as you don't have a bad warrant, I don't want to take you to jail. I don't like taking people to jail.
He's still out of breath, man.
I don't like doing what I had to do to you in front of your kid.
I don't... What? Like you had to do it? You had no alternative? You had no options?
But you caused it. All you had to do was provide the information asked. We had written up.
You caused me to brutalize you. You caused me to be violent with you. This is victim blaming. It's like, is the rapist going to tell the woman that he raped, oh, you made me do that? I mean, because of your clothes, obviously you were wearing the wrong thing and you made me do that. Is the murderer going to say, you know, I'm sorry, I got to get the knife out. I got to plunge it into you. Cops like, you made me do that. Psycho. That's a psycho.
No, listen. Shut up and listen just a minute. We had reasonable enough suspicion to identify you. That's
Reasonable
all that
enough.
matters.
But if I do criminal activity.
Yeah.
But I didn't do no criminal activity.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I didn't do nothing criminal walking with my son.
Okay. It's not criminal, but we still have reasonable enough suspicion to identify you.
It's not criminal, but you have to have reasonable, articulable suspicion that it's like when people say, oh, no, I had RAS. Yeah, RAS of what? Reasonable, articulable suspicion of what? There's a ... after that. That a crime has been committed. It has to be reasonable. It has to be articulable. And that's the lower weight. The constitutional weight is probable cause. Probable cause that a crime has been committed. That's why I'm detaining you. He just admitted that what the guy was engaged in was not a crime. So he basically just legally hung himself.
If I want to give the ID, I can.
No, it's not a if the state is not a if you want to state.
It's a state that they can ID you at any time.
This is not a shall ID state, but once you're being detained,
What was I being detained for?
This is not a shall ID state, but the reason I put the cuffs on you and put you in the back of my car is because you didn't ID.
criminal, like we don't know what's going on, but we can call it criminal activity.
That's not, but I didn't do criminal.
We don't know what's going on, but we can call it criminal. We can call it whatever we want to. Oh, chewing bubble, criminal activity. Riding a scooter on the sidewalk like you're supposed to, criminal activity. Walking across the street in the crosswalk, well, we can call it criminal activity. Whatever we want to call it, we'll call it. That's pretty subjective. That's pretty dangerous. That's pretty tyrannical. And that's why we had the American Revolution.
Okay, man.
Thrown down like that in front of my son.
I didn't even throw you down, if you want to know the truth.
You did. And
No.
you rolled me on the ground, sir.
I rolled you on the ground to...
Times.
I just making sure you don't have any weapons in there, bro.
Bro, that was just a little overdoing it when a kid's right there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, don't you think maybe next time a cop says, hey, what's your
I
name?
don't have my ID, though. That's what I was telling you. I don't have it on me.
But I did ask you what your name and date of birth is. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you about it, Mr. Sexton. But here's the thing, man. Typically, when a cop's out with somebody and they don't want to identify, it leads us to believe that you are involved in more criminal activity than we need to. So that's why you heard me saying what I was saying, because I'm narrating for the camera. This is not my first day on the job, okay?
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I'm straight up with people. If I tell you to do something, you better be doing it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but...
Whoa. Yeah, it makes sense if you're a tyrant. That makes sense if we were North Korea or communist China. That doesn't make any liberty sense at all. Can you explain to me how that makes constitutional sense? Can you tell me how what you're doing, officer, is in concert with you securing my identity? Can you tell me how you're securing my rights by taking away my rights?
Hey, you know what? Maybe teach
I don't have to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, my son being there, it wasn't the right time to do all this shit.
Yeah, well, you know what, man? At 5:30 in the morning,
bro, I get up 4 o'clock every morning.
No, that's cool, man.
4 o'clock at night. I get up at 4 o'clock.
But put yourself in our position. Our job is to make certain that shit's not going on down here. We see all the spray painting. So I literally saw y'all cross right here at Prouty.
Indians around here running around doing that bullshit.
I got you, bro. It's got possible warrants. So when I was headed in, I saw him walk down the alley, and then when I moved my truck around to the covered stuff, you know you can park back there if you want, right? Yeah, you can, man. When I moved my truck back around there, like I turned, so this is Prouty. They were
Gonna be cops playing in here.
already walking out of the alley at Noble. They walked, and then they just...
I'm just gonna fast forward it because he explains the same thing to this next arriving officer. Tons of resources being blown here, guys. The tax cattle. That's why I don't call them the police department anymore. It's the fleece department. So they're fleecing the tax cattle so they can waste all of this manpower and all these resources on tyrannical actions like this.
Too early for this.
Watonga Police.
Huh? One detail like 10. Yeah. He didn't want to identify. He got his ass tripped up, put on the ground. What's doing? So when I came in, I come from the north. I see him cross this street, Prouty, in the alleyway.
So this is the second officer he's going to explain his story to, and no part of the stories that he tells says that John committed any kind of crime that he was suspicious of. None at all. He was walking. He was walking at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. Suspicious activity. At no point does any officer say, wait a second, did you have probable cause that he committed a crime before you put your hands on him? Because if you didn't, that's a major lawsuit, dude. Like, you're probably going to put his kid through medical school on this.
Just walking down. When I turn to go put my stuff up, they don't come out at Noble. I get my stuff to go, and I move my pickup around back, and they're hanging around like the back over there. You know where the bar, like where TGC is and stuff? They're hanging around over there. I don't know what they're doing. So Joaquin finds him. Joaquin's talking to him. He's like, I don't have to tell y'all anything. I said, dude, it's like, you're being detained. You know, hold on.
So his standard is there are crimes that are being committed all the time somewhere, and I don't know what he's doing. So based on those two criteria, there are crimes happening somewhere, and I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's up to. That gives me the justification to lay my hands on him if he doesn't produce ID. That's a dangerous individual.
I said, what is, you give me your ID? He's like, I ain't giving you my ID. I don't give you shit. I don't have it. I said, okay, what's your name and date of birth? And he said, I don't have to tell you shit. Something like that. So I said, all right, go ahead, turn around and put your hands behind your back. I'll take you in for failure to identify. Like, you're being detained. Like, I don't know. I was fixing to tell Joaquin, like, you know, if we can kind of get a situation where we can go over there to TGC and see what's going on and make sure nothing's out of the ordinary. He's like, we're just out walking, man. We walk every day. Okay, that's cool. But how much crap goes on in these alleys, Jarrett? Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So that cop's name is Jarrett, and the other cop's first name is Joaquin.
So he wouldn't turn around and put his hands behind his back. So he got the old jerk, kick your feet out from underneath you right in front of his kid. I hate to be that way. 4th of July, you know what I mean?
I mean, why is he out since like one of his kids?
Says he gets up every morning at 4 and walks around. You ever seen him?
No.
Me neither.
No, I call out those guys.
Look at this. Protect and serve. What a freaking joke.
Yeah. I don't think I'm out of the scope of my job, do you?
I mean, we've been told to extra patrol because of issues in the alleys, and now we're checking out somebody that's in the same fucking alley.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had break-in, we've got graffiti, reports of drugs.
All right, so let's get with the news here.
Blaine County Sheriff is now stepping in, demanding those officers be placed on leave until OSBI concludes their investigation into what.
So OSBI is going to investigate this situation and have been investigating it for almost a month. Nobody's heard from them, but the sheriff says, hey, we need to go ahead and suspend these guys. Of course, it's probably going to be a paid suspension, paid vacation. But tell me exactly what needs to be investigated. The cop clearly said, no, you weren't committed a crime, but I was suspecting that you might be, and we can call it a crime if we want to. Clearly, this guy's working outside the framework. I would even think of his own department's policy, but certainly outside of the framework of the Constitution. This guy's rights were clearly violated. I don't know why you need 10 minutes, let alone a month, to investigate this to determine, yeah, these cops committed criminal activity. Go serve a warrant on them and throw them into jail and liquidate their assets so that this kind of nonsense can stop. That tells you how corrupt the police department is. We're going to hear from the sheriff here in a second, but I just don't think his language is strong enough. His actions aren't strong enough.
What happened? The sheriff says that officer has a history of other complaints as well, including from his former colleagues.
The deputies that were under.
He has a history and he's still with the department, sheriff? This lays on you, bud.
Underneath him, they had lost faith in him as their leader.
Yeah.
And so I demoted him back.
The officer ended up moving to a position.
Demoted? You would have jailed us. This cop right here is not out for your best interest. He's out for the department's best interest, and he's protecting the Thin Blue Line gang.
Position that wasn't with the public, then ended up leaving the sheriff's office, eventually leading him to a position with Watonga PD.
But we're not gonna find out their names.
I do have the names of the officers that were involved in this incident, but we aren't releasing them right now because they haven't been formally charged with anything.
Why haven't they been formally charged? You don't need a full-on investigation. You have 2 angles of the body cam of them committing crimes against John. Thanks to Pink Camera Magic, we have the last name of one of them. That's Montoya. He should be fired, assets liquidated, jailed. Same with the guy who's, the guy who laid hands on John. Same with the guy who drove up and said, basically didn't say, get that guy out of the car right now. You just commit, based on what you just told me. And we all have thinking brains in our heads. Based on what you just told me, you committed a crime against John. He committed no crime. You're not treating this like it's America, dude. But I wanted to show you one post under this Twitter feed from this person. If they ask you for ID, you have to comply. Demand, request, or ask. Just show them your ID. Of course, if he was at a voting station, he wouldn't need one. Hey, if the cops tell you to do something, you do it. If they want you to be insecure in your persons, you supply the ID that they requested, and then you won't have any problems. And that right there, show me your papers. No questions asked, and you just do it. That's how we descend into a land of complete tyranny. Hey, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to my brand new political channel where I expose the left versus right paradigm lie. I'd really like you to take a look at this video right here where I completely expose Kamala Harris and what she is and who she is. She actually proclaims that she was the top cop in the United States, being the prosecutor or the attorney general over the entire state of California, which is about 39 to 42 million people. And what's interesting is she wants to push red flag laws just like Donald Trump wants to push red flag laws. And Donald Trump wants to put a blanket of federal qualified immunity over every single cop in the nation. My question is, would he want that same qualified immunity spread over the top cop, Kamala Harris? I bring the receipts on this video. Check it out. I'll leave a link in the description and in the pinned comment. I'll also leave the link to the Blaine County Sheriff's Office where this other sheriff is operating out of so that you can leave your comments on their Facebook page. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the Here's the Deal channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Remember, the price of freedom is now and will always be eternal vigilance. And indifference to this notion is the means by which the people have and will secure their own oppression. Stop securing your own oppression and start today. I will see you in the next video.